think the main messages were that if we're looking for what education and learning should become in the future, it matters where we look for answers to that question. And one place to look is the best current education systems like Finland. Another place to look is towards technology and how that's changing it. But another place to look is where the need for education and learning is greatest and the resources are least, and that's in the developing world, and particularly in the poorest parts of the developing world. And if you look in those places and look at how people are trying to invent and create new ways to provide learning there, they don't look like school. They look more like communities or villages or relationships or networks. So they often pull people to learning rather than sort of pushing people to learning. They pull people by making it interesting, attractive, useful, economically valuable, productive. They're often not in schools, they're often in different places. They're often involve music, sport, dance to make it appealing and fun. Highly collaborative, often at different times to suit people if they need to work or what have you. So the whole, if you look at social entrepreneurs outside education systems trying to create these solutions, they're devising new approaches that don't look like school. Now, it's very important to realize and remember that education came from social entrepreneurs. In the 19th century, it was social entrepreneurs creating new models of mass education in the industrialized world in big cities that created the models we have now. So it's very important to attend and look at these people operating in the margins of the system, creating these new transformational approaches, and often using technology in very creative ways. Sometimes computers, but sometimes using footballs or violins to help promote learning. So if we were to borrow from that, then I think what you can see is that there are 4 different kinds of strategies that are available to us, and we need a mix of them. The first is to improve the kind of systems that we've got, and there's a huge effort going into spreading schools, improving teachers, so on and so forth. And one has to say that of course is sensible, but is a very long haul. A second approach is to try and reinvent schools, to create new kinds of schools, often with new technology, and you see that all across the world, but in really good charter schools like High Tech High in the States, or really good public schools like Thomas Jefferson High School in Washington, or schools like Kunskapsskolan schools in Sweden. Much more personalised learning, much more pervasive technology, more collaborative learning, probably more real-world focused, probably people collaborating around shared interests and their stage of education, not necessarily their age, and that kind of thing. The third thing that you see is people trying to connect school and family more closely. So a lot of learning takes place in families, in home, in the community, and the more you can kind of get school and community working together, the more successful the outcome. And so that ranges from things like the Harlem Children's Zone in New York, which is good schools and lots of community activities and schemes, to Pratham in India, which is creating preschool playgroups and balwadis for children before they go to school and mentoring them whilst they're at school. So connecting school and home will become increasingly important. And finally, there is this transformational innovation, new ways to deliver learning, make learning possible using new technologies completely outside the school system. And I think we'll see all 4. But what we need to realise is that improving what we've got, although that is essential, that won't be enough, that we need more of these other forms of innovation, and that we need now to imagine how we can use technology to get learning to people at low cost, in very personalised and very effective ways. Otherwise we'll let them down. And that, I suppose I came back from my tour around the world visiting these places in the developing world, huge need, very little capacity. People are desperate for education and learning. They're so hungry for it. They believe in it. There's also a widespread recognition that traditional systems are dysfunctional, clumsy, they're bureaucratic, they're costly. But that education plus technology equals hope for a lot of people. If you can connect people to knowledge, ideas, education, using technology and through technology to the wider world, that provides people with a source of hope, a very important source of hope. And I think education is in the hope business, basically. I've really enjoyed coming to Online EDUCA. I met it's an amazing collection of people, huge number from all over the world, diverse perspectives, but sharing a sort of common interest in trying to create new ways for people to learn using technology, and both transforming existing systems but also opening up new possibilities outside the systems that we have. And I think it's a really impressive and powerful and important gathering.